The school board meeting will begin in 1 minute. Please take your seats. Again, the school board meeting will begin in 1 minute.
Good evening and welcome. The April 22nd, 2025 meeting of the Marion County School Board is called to order. Mirroring and modeling the way our students begin each day, I ask that we observe a moment of silence at this time. Please join me. Thank you. Dr. Campbell, will you please read the board commitment statement?
With pleasure, Chair. We are the Marion County School District Leadership Team. When we come together to work, we are efficient, effective, and productive. Our three most important characteristics are dedicated, transparent, and individually responsible. To work well together, we must demonstrate respect, confront reality, and be accountable. We will always put students first. We will leave a legacy of success.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell. For the courtesy of those listening to the meeting, I am requesting everyone in the audience to please turn off their electronic devices or put them on vibrate. Later in the meeting, up to 30 minutes will be provided for individuals to address the board on matters concerning the operation of the Marion County school system or the school board only. Presentations to the board are limited to 5 minutes and are televised. If you wish to address the board regarding a regular agenda item or matters on which the board customarily takes action, you will first complete a peach form located in the lobby. If you wish to address the board regarding a public hearing or a student discipline matter, please complete the lime green form. These forms must be fully completed and received to the board clerk no later than 5:40 p.m. The procedures applicable for each one are on a separate sheet. Good evening, Ms. Gonzalez. Will you please call the roll?
Dr. Allison Campbell, District 1.
Here.
Mrs. Lori Conrad, District 2.
Here.
Mr. Eric Cummings, District 3.
Here.
Mrs. Nancy Thrower, District 4.
Here.
Dr. Sarah James, District 5.
Here.
Khalil Lawson, Lake Weir High School. Sean Martin, Denellen High School.
Here.
Dr. Diane Gullett, Superintendent.
Here.
Mr. Jeremy Powers, School Board Attorney.
Thank you. Good evening, Dr. Gullett. Will you share who is giving our inspiration and pledge this evening?
I certainly will. Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. It's great to see you, and it's great to see a packed house tonight. Thank you for coming. I'm pleased to have Ms. Beck come forward, and she is going to recognize that some special folks that serve our students daily through Afterschool Professionals Week. Thank you, Ms. Beck.
Good evening, Dr. Gullett, Board Chair Campbell, and other members of our board. Thank you so much for having us here this evening. It is my pleasure to introduce our coordinator for the Marion After Schools program. It is Ms. Karen Lorenko. I certainly appreciate her leadership and commitment to that program. She does an amazing job, and she has a wonderful staff behind her, and that's really why we're here this evening, is to recognize the individuals that work in the Marion After Schools program, and in particular, to acknowledge some individuals who have worked for the program for a very long time. So I'd like to turn it over to Ms. Lorenko so that she can share with you a little bit more about the program and to introduce the individual she's brought with her.
Thank you.
Good evening, Vice Chair Cummings, board members, and Superintendent Dr. Gullett. We're here to recognize National After-School Professionals Appreciation Week, a time to celebrate those who support youth outside of school hours and positively impact our communities. Tonight, I'm honored to highlight 3 outstanding women who each dedicated over 30 years to Marion after-school programs. We have Miss Ann Simmons, 35 years of service. She began at Evergreen, led Saddlewood for 8 years, and now serves as an area manager. Margaret White, also with us for 35 years, from an activity leader at East Marion to a longtime site manager at Fort McCoy, where she also supports the school's fans' gardens. And then Carla Brown. With 34 years, Carla has served as site manager at several schools and now contributes as an area manager in our administrative office. Thank you for your decades of service and for the difference you make in the lives of Marion County students each day, before and after the school bell.
If you'll turn around, just want to say thank you for your years and years of service to Marion County Public Schools and to the children of Marion County Public Schools. I know from back in the day, you get the children before school, then you get them after school when they're nice and rowdy because they've been let out of school after being in school all day. So we're extremely thankful for you and the work that you do each and every day. Would you hold on, and we want to come down and grab a picture with you. Thank you.
On. Great, I can see everybody. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, couple more. And one more. Great job.
Thank you. I will.
Dr. Gullett, I understand we have 3 recognitions this evening.
We have 2, and then we'll let you do one. Thank you, Chair. So the first one is going to be recognition of our state and district Thespian winners, and Ms. Hutto is going to come forward and recognize some very special students, very talented students.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Dr. Gullett, board members, and guests. It is my privilege to be here tonight to recognize our middle and high school theater programs that participated in District and State Thespians Festival this year. The district event was held in December, and ratings are used to qualify for State Festival. The Florida Thespian Junior and Senior State Festivals are held annually and provide an opportunity for students to participate in a variety of workshops, one-act performances, master classes, individual Thespi events, main stage performances, and technical theater events led by theater professionals from around the country. This event is also an opportunity for students to spend time with other high school students from around the state who share a passion and excitement for theater. The festival is an educational event for students who qualified to attend through participation at their troupe's district Thespian festival in either a Thespi event or one-act play performance. As it is our spring theater season, we do have a lot of our students and directors that are currently preparing for their spring shows and are at their rehearsals this evening, which are premiering over the next few weeks. At this time, I would like to recognize each of our theater troupes and their directors. As I call each troupe and share their accomplishments, I ask members and their directors to please walk down to the front of the floor to be recognized, and then please stay for a picture at the end. First up, we have Horizon Academy at Marion Oaks, Troop 10791, led by Miss Melody Toledo. Ms. Toledo is a first-year theater teacher. She had 11 students participate at District Thespians and took home 9 excellent and 6 superior ratings. Next up, we have Bellevue High School, Troop 5445, led by Mr. Michael Stricker. They had 11 students participate in 4 events at districts, earning 3 excellent and 1 superior rating, as well as having 2 of their students, senior Alexa Romanowski and junior Selena Mendez Tixteco, recognized as District 12 All-Stars for their work. Up next, we have Forest High School, Troop 3069, led by Miss Jessica Mongerio. They had 24 students participate in 17 different events, including large and small group musical events, as well as solo and duet musical, duet acting, monologue, and costume design. And they came home with 11 superior and 6 excellent ratings. They are currently preparing for their show, The Descendants, which premieres this weekend. Our next group is Vanguard High School, Troop 1003, led by Miss Sarah LeBeau. They had 3 students participate at districts. Isabella Dorta received a superior for her monologue performance. 2 students advanced to state. Alessandra Mastrosario, I'll get there, received an excellent for her solo musical, and she and Kylie Wilkinson received an excellent for duet acting, which to attend state and earn an excellent as freshmen is highly commendable. Finally, we recognize Westport High School, Troop 6180, led by Miss Shannon Singley and Miss Kate Messenger. Westport had 13 students attend state thespians and 4 competed. Sam Anderson received an excellent for solo music. Liz Connolly received a superior for both costume design and monologues. Aubrey Crandall received a superior for costume design, and we had 1 student receive a top honors award, which indicates a perfect score in their category, awarded to senior Hannah Talby in the category of makeup design. Please give all these students a round of applause for their hard work and success.
Ms. Hodo, yes, if you'll turn around. I'm tired just listening. You explain all of the things that they've done on top of their regular schoolwork. So we just want to share that we're very proud of you and what a great opportunity you each have at each of your schools. And so we're very grateful for you, and we'd like to come down and grab a picture real quick.
We train them well. We take pictures of them all the time. I can. Whoop. Whoop.
Okay, I'm going to have to ask you to scooch in. We can do that. There you go. Perfect. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, couple more. And good to go. Thank you so much.
Okay, we're ready for their second.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair, again, members of the board. Our last recognition tonight recognizes a lot of adults in the audience, but I want to be clear before I have Ms. Magamal come forward that it's because of these adults that we can serve our students. So we are recognizing the adults who make it possible for us to help every student succeed. So Ms. Magamal from Public Education Foundation is going to come forward, and I know Chair Melpool is here as well as members of the board. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair Conrad, board members, Superintendent Dr. Gullett. This week is Public Education Foundation of Marion County Awareness Week, and every day we are highlighting the impact and the programs of our foundation, today being a very special day to recognize our invaluable school business partners. As a nonprofit organization dedicated to support Marion County Public Schools, one of our strategic priorities is to ensure that every school in our district has at minimum one business partner officially designated to support them. And while the partnerships have a financial contribution, these partners do so much more through their relationships with our schools. Today, I will be recognizing each of our 84 partners, totaling an investment of over $320,000 this school year for Marion County Public Schools. They are helping make great things happen across our district, and the partnerships are unique to each school, looking different in each location. It may be volunteering through a career engagement opportunity and speaking opportunity. It may be ensuring that a school has umbrellas during inclement weather to walk their students and staff safely to class. It's family engagement activities and supporting students and staff during hardships. Our school business partners lift up their schools, and rising tides lift all of our ships. A couple of notes before I recognize all of our partners. I will read off their names alphabetically by school. We are lucky that some of the partners were able to join us this evening and be in our audience. I do ask that when I name and recognize them, that they stand behind me. You'll hear multiple businesses mentioned multiple times because they are choosing and able to invest in multiple schools. We have a lot of new partners, even as new as yesterday. I promise to be fast while reading these names, and I ask that we save our round of applause until the end, and then if possible, take a group photo opportunity. So I will start. Alternative programs at Marion Technical Institute, Mid-Florida agencies. Anthony Elementary is partnered with Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club and St. Bernard Foundation. Bellevue Elementary, International Energy Savers of Central Florida. Bellevue High School, Advent Health Ocala, Bradley Blessing State Farm Agency, and Love Inc. of the Heart of Florida. Bellevue Middle, Advent Health Ocala, Dr. Jones Orthodontics, and brand new, the Vines Hospital. Bellevue Santos Elementary, Bradley Blessing State Farm Agency. College Park Elementary, the College of Central Florida and Meadowbrook Church. Dr. N.H. Jones, Ocala Fiber Network. Denellen High, Crouch Homes. Denellen Elementary, Ocala Fiber Network. Denellen Middle, FMC Wealth Management. East Marion Elementary, American Dream Residential and Ocala Electric Utility. 8th Street Elementary, Clymer Farner Barley, Glover Law Firm, and LTC Systems. Emerald Shores Elementary, Ocala Fiber Network. Fessenden Elementary, St. Bernard Foundation. Fordham Early Learning Academy, Florida Credit Union. Forest High School, Geotech, and brand new Rome Electric. Fort King Middle School, Pediatric Associates of Ocala, and the Vines Hospital. Fort McCoy, Phoenix Wood Products, and St. Bernard Foundation. Greenway Elementary, Snapology of Ocala, brand new. Hammett Bowen Elementary, Inline Orthodontics. Harborview Elementary, Ocala Fiber Network. Hillcrest School, Ocala Marion County Association of Realtors, and brand new Cullison Wright Construction. Horizon Academy at Marion Oaks, Conrad Tree Service. Howard Middle School, Advent Hospital, and Cox Communications. Lake Weir High School, Lockheed Martin and the Guest House Ocala. Lake Weir Middle School, Love Inc. of the Heart of Florida, and Ocala Fiber Network. Legacy Elementary, Ausley Construction, and Ocala Fiber Network. Liberty Middle School, Inline Orthodontics. Madison Street Academy, Dr. Jones Orthodontics, Rainey's, Regions Bank, Kid City USA, and the Riley Art Center. Maplewood Elementary, Pediatric Dentistry of Ocala. Marion Oaks Elementary, Ocala Fiber Network. Marion Technical College, Jenkins Auto Group. Marion Technical Institute, Signature Brands. North Marion High School, DJ Cooling. And St. Bernard Foundation. North Marion Middle School, Ocala Fiber Network, and St. Bernard Foundation. Oakcrest Elementary, Cox Communications. Ocala Springs Elementary, Ocala Electric Utility. Osceola Middle School, Clymer, Farner, Barley, and Reed Orthodontics. Reddick Collier Elementary, Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club, and St. Bernard Foundation. Romeo Elementary, Arthur W. Fisher, PA, brand new. Saddlewood Elementary, Meadowbrook Church. Shady Hill Elementary, Signature Brands. South Ocala Elementary, Mid-Florida Credit Union, and Petroleum Plus Services. Spar Elementary, St. Bernard Foundation, and the Guest House Ocala. Stanton Weirsdale Elementary, Ausley Construction. Sunrise Elementary, Ocala Fiber Network. Vanguard High School, Advent Health Ocala, and Rainey's. Ward Highlands Elementary, Conrad Tree Service, and Wide Auto Repair. Westport High School, Florida Express Environmental, HCA Florida Ocala, and Meadowbrook Church, and the Guest House Ocala. Wyomina Park Elementary, Delta Dental Insurance Company. And a special thanks to our partners at the CEP. I know Tamara Fleischmacher and Dean Blinkhorn are in the audience, and I want to say thank you for being instrumental on helping ensure our business community stays connected and engaged with our schools. So I would like to give all of our business partners a huge round of applause and thank them for their investment.
Very quickly, we talked about this morning at the foundation meeting, and I really can't put into words how grateful we are for these business partnerships. We couldn't do the work that we do on our campuses without you, and so I hope that you feel my heartfelt gratitude for your commitment not only to our schools, but to our community. And so with that, we want to come down and grab a picture. Kevin, I'll let you lead with directions because it's a big group.
Are we, oh yeah, well you didn't tell us what to do. Are we?
Yeah, face the stage.
Oh, that's a good idea. Hello. fit, but we'll give it a shot.
I'll hide right here. Hi, how are you?
Got one of yours, I guess. Oh, no, not yours.
No?
No, wrong school.
Matt Johnson, you got to go in front, bro.
Yeah, man, you gotta move up front, buddy.
Stand on the podium. Stand on this chair.
No, I can't stand on anything. No, I can't stand on anything. Yeah, that's not a good idea.
You'll fall off.
You know, yesterday was the 1 year.
I bet they're playing high school next month.
Yeah, yesterday was the 1 year.
Yes.
He kind of knows what to do.
Oh, we're just going with the flow.
I just seen the guy. The guy's
Oh, okay.
We have a lot of great.
Let's chat back here. Because I wouldn't have allowed it. On your way out, if you have an opportunity, tell Miss Magamole happy birthday. She's celebrating this evening. Did you? You should have. I didn't.
Do you want to sing? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Come down, Megan.
Happy birthday, dear Megan. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, ladies. Harmonizing. That is not in my gift. Oh, I see her. Okay, it's my understanding we have one more recognition. During the 2024-2025 school year, we have had 7 students who served as student representatives to the board. In this role, they served in an advisory, non-voting capacity to the school board, and were able to provide input on board agenda items. It's important to highlight that on March 26, 2024, having student representatives serve in this role became board policy 014.4, and we are already beginning the application process for the 2025-2026 school year. At this time, I'd like to recognize the student representatives to the board for this school year. Arisha Bawani from Bellevue High School, and I'm going to apologize in advance if I mess up your name. Adrialis Diaz from Westport High School. That was quarter 1. Quarter 2, Sean Martin, Dunellen High School. Sanjay Karthik from Vanguard High School. Thank you. For third quarter, Chloe Kostowicz. Thank you. Thank you for the grace, Chloe. And Carson Schweitzer from North Marion High School. For quarter 4, Khalil Lawson. And Dr. Campbell would like to share something real quick.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you all. You know that I've kind of been your liaison this time, and so it's been a great honor and a privilege. What I want the community to know that you have just received. So we made sure this year that you all got a plaque that will also include the nameplate, I believe, that you had when you were up here. So Sean, I think that's where yours is right now. So the mystery is solved. But also last year during graduation, we realized as we saw our student representatives last year for the first time come across the stage and greet each one of us, we wanted something special that would recognize you, that you could wear with your graduation regalia. So you all have that lapel pin, and you are the only ones that have them. I believe that they get them already. Yes, she has them in her hands. So Dr. Brewer is going to pass those out for you that you'll be able to wear with your graduation regalia that designates you as a student representative to the school board for Marion County Public Schools. So congratulations, thank you, and we're looking forward to your graduation.
And with that, we're going to come down and,
we're gonna
grab a picture.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
Sure.
sure, absolutely.
Come on up. Yes, to tell us where he wants us to go. Oh, thank you. I knew we. Sorry, that wasn't in the.
No, that's well, so you could about it for weeks, but I didn't have any idea.
Sure. Do you want us? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want us to pull our chairs back or just stand next to the chairs?
Okay. Tell us where to go, Kevin. I'm pretty short. That's okay. All the guys on one side. And Carson's at a boys volleyball game tonight, so hey, you could be here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was thinking.
I know.
Thank you, though. I'm just going to stay away from the week, unless it's embedded in a meeting, right? So.
Let it out, but you can't. That's okay. That's okay.
Okay, we've had so many great and wonderful things to share this evening. We're going to continue that by recognizing some donations. We have $4,000 to Lake Weir High School from the Marion Cultural Alliance at Brick City Center for the Arts to be used by Mrs. Marie Tribble, teacher at Lake Weir High School, to start a drama theater program for all students at Lake Weir High School. What a great evening, as we recognized groups from earlier. $1,000 to North Marion High School from TEC Diversified to be used by JROTC program at North Marion High School. $20,000 to Westport High School from Project Lead the Way Incorporated to assist in the purchase of items for the engineering program at Westport High School. $1,000 to Westport High School from Citizens First Bank for a scholarship to be awarded to a student graduating from Westport High School in 2025 that will be attending a Florida college. $30,000 to Marion Technical College from Voices for Children of North Central Florida Incorporated to be used as scholarship assistance for eligible foster students enrolled at MTC. $9,500 to Marion Technical College from Summer Glen Veterans and Patriots Club to be used for scholarships for 8 selected students enrolled in programs at MTC. We just want to say thank you to all those partners. We have donations. There's some very large donations this time that, at least since I've been chair, we haven't seen, and so we're just really grateful for the support from these groups for these great programs. So thank you to everyone. Superintendent?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I recommend approval of the agenda for the April 22nd, 2025 school board meeting with the materials in the board packet, those materials distributed to board members at the meeting, and the audio recording included as part of the official record of the meeting, with the exception of the following items: D24.1, D24.2, D24.3, D24.4, and D24.5 and D24.6 have been placed under discussion regular agenda items, as well as items C21.3 and C21.1 have been pulled and placed under discussion pulled agenda items. Thank you.
Thank you. May I have a motion on the superintendent's recommendation?
Motion to approve the agenda?
Thank you. Board Member Thrower, may I have a second?
Second.
You, Dr. James, thank you. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. May I have a motion to approve the minutes for the March 24th, 2025 administrative briefing and work session? May I have a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes?
Thank you, Board Member Thrower. May I have a second? Thank you, Reverend Cummings. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. May I have a motion to approve the minutes for the March 25th, 2025 school board meeting? May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Reverend Cummings.
Second?
Thank you, Board Member Thrower. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Ms. Gonzalez, please provide the proof of publication for tonight's school board meeting.
The notice for the April 22nd, 2025 school board meeting ran in the Ocala Gazette on April 11th, 2025. The proof of publication has been attached in board docs under proof of publication.
Thank you. Good evening, Attorney Powers. Please explain the rules for governing persons who wish to address the school board meeting this evening.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In compliance with Section 286.0114 of Florida statutes, the school board has adopted uniform procedures for public speakers who wish to speak at this evening's meeting, either regarding one of today's agenda items or a matter relating to the operations of the school district. These procedures will ensure the public has a reasonable opportunity to be heard on school board and school district matters. A written summary of these procedures is available from the table in the lobby. Public speaker forms are also located on the same table. Completed forms were due to the school board's clerk no later than 5:40 p.m. This evening, speakers will be called prior to the business portion of the school board's meeting in the order of receipt by the school board clerk. Before you begin speaking, please state your full name for the record and spell your last name. Each speaker will have 5 minutes of time. However, if there are more than 5 persons who wish to speak, the board may seek consensus to limit each speaker's time to 3 minutes. When the speaker has 1 minute remaining, the speaker will receive a visual notice to complete his or her comments. Speakers may not yield their time to other people. Speakers and meeting attendees are expected to conduct themselves in a civil and respectful manner. The board is here to listen to your comments only. You may be directed to an administrative staff member following the conclusion of your comments for further assistance to address your concerns. If there are matters dealing with student discipline, including expulsions, they'll be addressed at the conclusion of the televised portion of the meeting. Parents may address the board regarding a discipline matter at that time. To ensure student privacy, only a parent or guardian may use a student's first or last name. Identifying references to or identification of other students or their families are also strictly prohibited. A speaker's speech does not reflect the endorsement, sponsorship, position, or expression of the school district. Thank you for your attention to the board's requirements. Madam Chair, that concludes my explanatory remarks.
Thank you, Attorney Powers. Ms. Gonzalez, do we have any speakers this evening?
Yes, we have one.
All right, thank you.
Ms. Kirsten Angel.
Good evening, members. My name is Kirsten Angel. My last name is spelled Angel. I live at 2055 Southeast 50th Terrace in Ocala, Florida, 34480. I wish to address my concerns over the choosing of our interim school superintendent. I appreciate all the time and energy that you all have spent so far in getting to this point. However, I have a couple of concerns, and those concerns are, first of all, the person who is chosen at this point in time to be the interim school superintendent has been in this position now for a couple of years, and so far, our school records have not improved. I find that very concerning, and given the fact that she may now be our interim school superintendent, I have some concerns about that. The second thing that I have a definite concern about, and I'm sorry to have to mention this, but I've talked to many school board people in the classroom, and several of them have mentioned this to me, and I think this bears on the decision of her being able to make judgment skills. And apparently what has occurred is that she's had several affairs in the school system with several employees, and I find that also concerning as somebody who would definitely be the interim school superintendent and could certainly put her name forward to be the permanent
I'm sorry,
school
Ms. Angel,
superintendent.
I'm going to have to cut you off there. I believe Attorney Powers, we're not directing comments at anyone specific. Is that correct?
That's correct, but I couldn't quite hear what was.
Yeah, I haven't addressed anyone specifically. I've just addressed her as the interim.
Well, there's only one person identified throughout, so that's.
Chair, I totally agree that needs to be stopped.
So, Ms. Angel, we appreciate you bringing your concerns forward, and we're going to stop public comment at this time. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Cummings. With that, I'm going to move on to item 9.1. May I have a motion to approve the Liberty Howard rezoning?
So move.
Thank you, Reverend Cummings.
Second.
Thank you, Dr. James. Dr. Gullett?
Yes, Madam Chair, the approval of the Liberty Howard rezoning complies with Florida Statute 1001.41. Thank you.
Thank you. I declare a public hearing. Is there anyone present who wishes to address the Liberty Howard rezoning? Okay. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. May I have a motion to approve the request for pre-qualifications for general construction services for 2025-2026 school year? May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Dr. James. Thank you, Board Member Thrower. Dr. Gullett?
Thank you, yes. The approval for the request for the pre-qualifications for general construction services 2025-2026 complies with both Board Policy 6334 and Florida Statute 1013.46 subsection 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gullett. I declare a public hearing. Is there anyone present who wishes to address the request for pre-qualifications for general construction services for the year 2025-2026? Is there anyone present? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Per Florida statutes 1013.03, Section 3, and 1013.31, Section 1D, and state requirements for educational facilities 6.15C. School districts are required to update their fish records periodically and certify the information is current and accurate. The board chair, Superintendent, and Director of Facilities have signed the Certification of Facilities Data form. Board, this concludes the informational item for today's meeting. We'll now move on to our consent agenda item. May I have a motion to approve consent agenda items C11.1 through C21.4, with the exception of items D24.1, D24.2, D24.3, D24.4, and D24.5 that have been placed under discussion regular agenda items. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Board Member Thrower. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Before addressing expulsion matters, I wish to acknowledge that board members have received the alternative placement list for students through March 28, 2025. Ms. Gonzalez, are there any parents who have submitted a timely request to speak on their child's disciplinary matter?
No, Madam Chair.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the expulsion of student JD25-175E, JD25-230E, JD25-245 for the remainder of the 2024-2025 school year and the first, second, and third quarters of the 2025-2026 school year. May I have a motion?
So move.
Thank you, Reverend Cummings. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. May I have a motion to approve the expulsion of student JD25-244 and JD25-247 with off-campus virtual learning for the remainder of the 2024-2025 school year and the first, second, and third quarters of the 2025-2026 school year. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Dr. James. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. May I have a motion to approve the expulsion of student JD25-250 and JD25-251E for the remainder of the 2024-2025 school year and the entire 2025-2026 school year. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Dr. James. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. May I have a motion to approve the special data share agreement with Hanover Research Council, LLC? May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Board Member Thrower. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. James. Dr. Gullett, you have information to share with us.
I do. Thank you, Madam Chair. Members of the board, Mr. Whitehouse is going to come forward and present some information, but essentially the request for this item is $522,706, which would allow access to research and data analysis. Mr. Whitehouse, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, board members. So appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share a little additional information about Hanover. So Marion County Public Schools has partnered.
Mr. Whitehouse.
Our microphones are having a little difficulty.
All right.
You can make sure.
Thank you.
No problem. So Marion County Public Schools has partnered with Hanover Research since 2022 through a strategic membership. This membership includes 3 key areas of support for our district. 1 is access to the Educational Research Library. 2, we have 2 custom research queues that are available to us. And 3, we also receive advisory services from Hanover Research. So the library contains hundreds of research reports that Hanover has conducted with clients across the country. Topics include career and technical education, school start times, at-risk student support, operational efficiency, program evaluation, and more. The 2 custom research queues allow our staff access to the expertise of employees at Hanover Research, and we can conduct 2 simultaneous projects during the year, and as soon as one project is complete, we have an additional project lined up and ready to go. We've utilized Hanover's statisticians that they employ, and we have conducted correlation studies comparing student performance on district and state assessments. We've looked at bus routing efficiency analysis, an analysis of our discipline trends across the district, and an analysis of the impact of our secondary intervention resources on student performance. Using their expertise, Hanover has also developed high-quality surveys for our use, including a transportation needs assessment, ESE staff needs assessment, fidelity of implementation survey for our secondary interventions, and a teacher engagement and retention survey. Hanover has also provided vendor scans for products that we are looking to purchase and best practice reports on topics that we want more information about. The advisory services includes regular and as-needed support from retired and experienced school administrators, and can also include support in the creation of a brand new district strategic plan. And if you recall, in 2022, when we first rolled out our strategic plan, we received a lot of support from Hanover in that process after it was implemented. They actually came on site, worked with all of our district leaders that summer in development of action plans for those departments to be able to support the work that we were doing with the strategic plan, and then did follow-up virtual visits with each of the departments to go over action plans and provide any additional guidance and support that they needed. So we have, again, utilized quite a bit of services from them over time. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Whitehouse. Board, do you have any questions, any discussion on that item? Okay, seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Thank you, Mr. Whitehouse. May I have a motion to approve the Fourth Amendment with Power School Group, LLC? May I have a motion?
So move.
Thank you, Reverend Cummings. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Board Member Thrower. Dr. Gullett, you have some information on this item for us.
Yes, ma'am, I do. And Board, I'll start with this. I mean, we all know how important it is for every one of us up here to focus on attendance in our schools, and this is at the heart of this item. Cost of $437,819, which will enable us to do tracking with absenteeism. And so Ms. Del Nodal is going to provide a lot more details on this request. Thank you.
Good evening, Chair Conrad, Superintendent Dr. Gullett, and board members. Research suggests that students who are chronically absent over time, especially during the early elementary years, are less likely to read on grade level and more likely to struggle academically by third grade. Additionally, chronic absenteeism also leads to disengagement, affecting student learning and connectedness. According to the U.S. Department of Education, approximately 20 states reported that more than 30% of students missed at least 3 weeks of school during the 22-23 school year, with the average rate of chronic absenteeism in Florida reaching 34%. Through solution-focused efforts in our Achieve 2026 key activities, we saw a decrease from 35% in Marion County in 2021 to 33% by the end of the 23-24 school year, with our current chronic absenteeism rate at 32%. In order to continue this trend, we continually search for effective tools and innovative solutions to support our attendance initiatives. The Attendance Intervention Suite provides schools and school teams with a tool to support attendance monitoring, communication with parents, and data analysis. The program enhances our communication with parents and families, offering the opportunity for systematic notifications and two-way communication in the parent's native language, which was what I was most excited about, offering equitable access to information for all parents and increasing family engagement. Communication features include customizable postcards, automated notices, and personalized messaging to meet student and family needs. Attendance tracking and analytics provides tiered data analysis that helps guide the appropriate intervention. The capabilities, if used to maximize benefit, would support and improve the workload for several district and school-based staff, including our attendance specialists, our attendance and court liaison, family engagement liaisons, attendance clerks or IPCs, as well as the classroom teachers, allowing them to increase their focus on identifying and working with individual and groups of students. Students with disabilities and English language learners are often more likely to experience absenteeism in comparison to other students. As such, this program helps to meet the goals of our Stronger Connections grant, which is used for our funding, of which one of the main elements is focused on improving attendance rates among these vulnerable populations. Attendance is not only a key component of our strategic plan, but it is a top priority locally and nationally. We look forward to continuing our efforts, working with families to ensure students are in school and on time every day.
Thank you. Board, is there any discussion on this item? Oh, yes, Board Member Thrower.
Thank you, and thank you for sharing the background and the power of Power School. One of my questions is, does Power School automatically generate the dreaded attendance letters?
Sure does.
And it's sad that we have to do that, but to me, this is an example of technology being put to really good use to reduce workload on our teachers, but also, and even more importantly, to make sure that we're keeping up with attendance trends and capturing these patterns quickly so that we can get kids in school. I was just looking at yesterday's attendance, and we still had about 11% of the district students absent, which they go, 11%. Well, that's hundreds of students, and they all have their reasons why. But if this technology helps us quickly get to the root causes of the reasons why, and then the personal support, we're starting to really wrap our hands around this and make a difference and make some improvements. So I'm all for it. I guess you could tell.
We're hoping this will be better and quicker communication with families.
Yeah. Very good. Everybody's good? All right, with that, we're ready to vote. Thank you. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the naming of new elementary school W to Ross Prairie Elementary? May I have a motion?
So move.
Thank you, Reverend Cummings. May I have a second? Thank you, Board Member Thrower. Dr. Gullett, you have some information to share with us on this item?
I do, Madam Chair, and Ms. Kiner, I think she ran to the podium.
Yes,
Board,
and smiling, and smiling.
Your board recently gave consensus. I'll speak to these two items. I know you have to vote separately, but very excited to be officially presenting the names that you discussed and asked us to move forward with for 24.3 and 24.4. Ms. Kiner.
Thank you. Good evening, Board Chair Conrad, board members, and Superintendent Dr. Gullett. I am excited to be here tonight to discuss the naming of School W, which we'll do first because they're separate votes. The process for naming these schools consisted of the principal developing a naming committee that included parents, staff, and community members. Public surveys were developed and advertised between February 18th and March 14th, 2025 via Skylar to feeder schools, the district's website on the homepage, email for the feeder schools, and were mentioned at various school board meetings. The principal, Ms. McCurchin, and the naming committee met to review the top school names to make the recommendation for board approval. The results, based on community input, were discussed at the board work session on April 3rd. The top school name choice for School W was Ross Prairie Elementary School. The history behind the recommended name is important to the community. School W is in close proximity to the Ross Prairie State Forest. The property was acquired in 1995 through the Longleaf Pine Uplands Project. Recreational opportunities on the forest include hiking, horseback riding, camping, and hunting. The main trailhead and access point is the Ross Prairie Trailhead, which is located 1 mile south of County Road 484. In addition, I am pleased to be joined with Megan Magamole. Come on up. I have a surprise. From the Public Foundation. And we are excited to be able to share the official news that School W has acquired an official school business partner that has committed to support them for the start of the 2025-2026 school year. And for School W, we welcome Straight Line Construction. They're here tonight. I'm so excited to have you. Thank you. And we want to thank them for becoming a business partner for School W, soon to be voted on tonight in a name, and for supporting our students in Marion County Public Schools. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. That's a great way to kick it off. A great way to start. So kids are so cute.
Okay, that is
Yes, ma'am.
completed my presentation.
Keep going.
All right.
I thought she was going to do both of them at the same time.
Hold on, I'm trying to find my spot here. All right, so we've got all those in favor. Is there any discussion, first off? Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion passes 5-0. May I have a motion to approve the naming of new elementary school X to Winding Oaks Elementary? May I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Second.
All right, y'all are going to make me,
That one.
yes, Thrower and Dr. Campbell. Dr. Gullett, you have some information. You're going to pass it right on to Ms. Kiner.
Yes, ma'am, I will. Thank you.
Hello, Ms. Crawford.
Okay, thank you. I'm joined tonight with Ms. Crawford, who's the principal of School X, the proud principal. And we are again here tonight to discuss the naming of School X. The process for naming this school consisted of the principal, again, developing that naming committee that included parents, staff, and community members. Public surveys were developed and advertised between February 18th and March 14th via SkyAlert, email to feeder schools, homepage of the district website, and of course were mentioned at various school board meetings. Ms. Crawford, the principal of School X, and the naming committee met to review those top school names to make the recommendation for board approval tonight. The results, based on community input, were discussed at the board work session on April 3rd. The top school name choice for School X was Winding Oaks Elementary School. The history behind this school's name is also important to this community. Elementary School X is built on land with a rich equine history. Originally established as Tartan Farms in 1960 by William McKnight, the property contributed significantly to Florida's thoroughbred industry. In 1970, Harry T. Menurin, Jr. purchased the property and renamed it Mockingbird Farm, continuing the tradition of developing top thoroughbreds. He also founded the Ocala Breeders Sales Company, further impacting the industry. In 2001, Eugene Melnick, owner of the Ottawa Senators and CEO of BioVale Corporation, bought the farm now known as Winding Oaks Farm. In addition, I am going to be again joined with Megan Magamal from the Public Education Foundation. And we are again pleased to share the official news with the board and the public that School X has also acquired an official school business partner that is committed to support them for the start of the 25-2026 school year. For School X, we welcome Osley Construction. Yay! We just want to thank him and thank Osley Construction for becoming a business partner and again for supporting our students in Marion County Public Schools and our new school, School X. Soon to be named.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Ms. Kiner. Board, is there any discussion? No, we're just excited.
Yeah, Dr. Campbell.
Yes, oh, sorry, Dr. Campbell.
The only discussion, and I know it's unconventional because it's in the middle of our business portion of our meeting, but I think it would be appropriate for us to go down and take pictures with those brand new business partners since they missed the business partner picture in the beginning because they didn't have new names of new schools yet.
I think that's a great idea.
We have to vote first.
You'll be ready for us?
We have to vote first.
Okay, yes, I've got it. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. All right, Mr. Christian, coming down to see you.
I think someone went to the restroom.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
they did go to the restroom.
Okay.
Okay.
Move on and then.
Well, we
Can we come back to them?
We can come back to them. That's fine.
He'll be back.
Yeah,
We'll
they'll be
do it.
back.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Okay.
Just
we'll
don't know Ms. Crawford. Stay here.
Okay. All right, may I have a motion to approve the piggyback agreement with Gatekeeper Systems USA Incorporated? May I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Thank you, Reverend Cummings. Second, thank you, Board Member Thrower. Dr. Gullett, you want to share some information with us on that item?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Madam Chair. This is a large ticket item at the price tag of $1 million. The request, including the use of school bus cameras, and Mr. McFadden is going to come forward and share some more details of this request. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Board Chair, Board members, Superintendent Dr. Gullett. In conjunction with the Transportation Department, the Safe Schools Department is requesting permission to piggyback on the Interlocal Purchasing System, TIPS, contract number 230202, security system products and services to purchase Gatekeeper camera systems for Marion County Public School buses. Gatekeeper camera systems will offer video coverage on Marion County Public School buses to ensure the safety of students and staff during transportation. The Gatekeeper system provides reliable digital video recording of the entire interior and some exterior views of the bus. For transparency, this is not the same as the stock arm camera systems. Providing this agreement will allow cameras to be installed on Marion County school buses to ensure the safety of personnel, students, and to assist in the investigation of traffic accidents, liability claims, student behavior, and other violations. The estimated amount of this expenditure is of $1 million. The term of the TIPS contract is May 22nd, 2023 through May 31st, 2026, with additional renewals on a yearly basis.
Thank you, Mr. McFadden. Board, do you have any discussion? Any questions? Okay. Oh, yes. Board Member Thrower.
Thank you, and it's just a comment, really. I know we need it. It's just sad that it has come to this, but it's important to amplify because $1 million, the money has to come from somewhere, and I just continue to be very grateful to our community that has supported our funding referendum 3 times in a row. The costs keep growing. Our business partners, we truly could not do everything that we need to do, let alone want to do, if it weren't for the whole community getting behind us and supporting and pushing. The majority of the whole community has just been incredible. So thank you. Again, hate the reason, but I'm going to vote yes.
Thank you, Board Member Thrower. I couldn't agree with you more. Any other comment from the board? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. And board will take just a quick breakdown so we can come back. I think everyone's back so we can grab a picture with our new business partners.
Okay.
We'll do together and then we'll do separate. Pink side over here. I've got to step back just a little bit more. There you go. 1, 2, 3, couple more. Now can we split in the middle and do 2 separates? Like school by school? Sorry. Needed clarification.
Ross Prairie every time. Ross Prairie.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, couple more. Good. Thank you.
I have to grab my phone, which I No, it's. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, couple more. And that's good. Thank you so much. Yep. Yes.
a little unconventional in the middle of our business. It's okay. Okay.
Okay, we're moving along to discussion, pulled agenda items.
We have item 24.6 that we didn't get to.
Yeah,
20
24.6.
24.5. on. I'm missing one. Give me 1 second, board. Thank you. All right. That is not in my script. Okay. Board, may I have a motion to... Amber Alert. Sorry about that. May I have a motion to approve the school start times for the 2025-2026 fiscal school year? May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Dr. James.
Second.
Yes, thank you, Reverend Cummings. Is there any discussion?
Dr. Gullett has items, I think.
We have, Madam Chair, we have Ms. Kynard here and Mr. Frazier with some information to share. As you know, we talked about this at our work session, but I think they have some brief items they would like to share with the board.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Kynard.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Board Chair Conrad, board members, and Superintendent Dr. Gullett. Tonight, we are presenting the recommended start-stop bell times for the 2025-2026 school year. The Start-Stop Time Scheduling Committee began meeting back in February and included elementary, middle, and high school principals, principal supervisors, and transportation staff members. After reviewing the on-time arrival data for our school buses, as well as comparing bus discipline referral data to last school year, the committee's recommendation was to continue with the 3-tiered system for start-stop times. During the work session last Thursday, we were asked to look at the possibility of moving Osceola Middle School to the 2nd tier for start-stop times. Mr. Ostanek is joining us here tonight to share the findings with the board.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
When we went through and did the research, if we were to move Osceola to the 2nd tier, we were having the same issues we were running into if we moved them to the 1st tier. And that was we were going to add about 8 to 10 runs to the 2nd tier at that point. So that's going to cause us to add, have to add extra routes, basically, at that point because of how they're paired. It's hard to say exactly how many because your pairings kind of change and alter a little bit, but it's going to probably fall in, like I said, that 8 to 10 range because we currently have, I believe, 7 3-tiered routes already for Osceola. So whenever you move those to another tier, it's going to have to pick up somewhere, so you're going to have to add extra to make that work.
Thank you. Anything further? Any discussion from the board? Yes, Dr. Campbell.
Thank you, and thank you for that, Mr. Ostanek. I hear you, and I understand what the issue would be with transportation. Unfortunately, on this item, board, similarly to the same time last year, I'll be voting against this item because I still think that even 8th Street and Osceola both should be at that 8:30 time frame, and that's the community within District 1 has spoken loud and clear, and that is the request that they have, so I'll be voting no against this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Yes.
Just want to thank Mr. Ostanek for digging back in and looking at it, and appreciate you hearing the board and spending some time to try and hash it out. And I wish that it wasn't transportation and bus drivers and the cost for transporting students wasn't the barrier, and we could make it happen, because I could see this happening in a variety of communities. You even look at Bellevue Middle and Bellevue High. They are as almost as close as Osceola and 8th Street. And so, I respect the work that was done last year and to get us where we are. And while uncomfortable as it is, and I'm sure I will be a parent. I'm going to be a parent at one point that is a kid at 3 different levels. So I'm going to have to get to experience the full beauty of our schedule eventually. And so I think that's, growing up in Orange County, it was this way from the time I can remember. So grateful for your work, and I'm ready to move forward on this.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Board Member Thrower.
Thank you, as always, for your great work. You were tasked with a Herculean task to improve transportation. I think this really illustrates what a beast it is, because in the perfect world, we would have plenty of extra money and plenty of extra drivers, and to be able to honor every unique circumstance. during the work session, I shared, and it continues to be really important to me to look for ways to partner with our community partners on, I did hear back from at least one parent that said, you know, if I felt safer having my child walk to school, then I would not be driving them to school. And so I think that that is part of a larger, potentially very positive, you know, conversation in terms of improving walkability and safety. And I know those things sometimes don't happen quickly enough. I also understand, having had 3 kids at 3 different schools, it wasn't easy, and with both of us working, you know, full time. So I guess I just wanted to share that I really do sympathize and see it from all sides. I'm going to vote yes tonight in hopes that that's going to galvanize some additional problem solving and unique ways to help kids get to school on time and reduce the difficulty for families. Thank you.
Dr. James.
Board Member Thurwood just reminded me, I have seen the videos online of the bike brigade. I'm sure you've probably seen them too, Board Member Thurwood. But I would love to work in our community to come up with Osceola, and not as much Osceola because that obviously feeder pattern is a slightly larger than just the Woodfields and that downtown corridor, but 8th Street specifically is so tight-knit. And I would love to see us engage in some way to creatively start the bike. Every time I see the bike brigade videos, I like tear up. I think it's just because of my mom, but you know, and Justin Timberlake came to one of them, and it's just really cool, and I would love to see us expand our walking and biking transportation. I do think biking transportation to 8th Street specifically is a barrier. I don't think the kids are allowed to leave on bike in the afternoon. They have to be handed off to an adult. So we have to just talk through some of those things. That's just a school-based decision, not necessarily like a district decision. But I would love to see us problem solve some of those nuances and come up with creative solutions for that close-knit downtown community.
Great. Okay, thank you, Board. Also, I just want to say thank you again, Mr. Ostanek, for continuing to work. You bring us information, you make a plan, and then we have questions, and then you answer our questions. And so thank you for continuing to cooperate and bring solutions forward. And Mr. Frazier, thank you for the information that you sent to us as you spoke with staffs. The board had some concerns the last time we visited, and so you addressed all of those for us. So just appreciate you and all the work that goes into making these decisions. With that, board, all those that are in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
Motion passes 4-1. Okay, now we're moving into pulled agenda items. May I have a motion to approve the guaranteed maximum price for Osceola Middle School new gymnasium, change order number 6, amendment number 1, project 24-109. May I have a motion?
So move.
Thank you, Reverend Cummings.
Second.
Thank you, Dr. James. Dr. Campbell, you've pulled this item.
Yes, ma'am, I'll be recusing myself from this vote.
Okay. Thank you. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes 4-0 with 1 recusal. All right, thank you. May I have a motion to approve the contract between owner and construction manager for construction services related to construction of new middle school DD, project 24-130. May I have a motion?
So move.
Thank you, Reverend Cummings. May I have it? Thank you, Dr. Campbell. Dr. James, you've pulled this item, or would you like some additional discussion?
Just briefly, Board, I just wanted, first, it was in a consent agenda when the agenda was published, and I just think an item of $2 million value should always be under discussion. And so I shared that philosophy with Ms. Usher and just our way of work historically, since newer to the district, just to make sure that going forward, this board member at least would like to see items of this dollar amount under discussion. But in addition, Board, in doing rough math, the $2 million fee was based on the advertised budgeted amount for the project, which was $50 million. So the $2 million is essentially 4% of the $50 million. And so I simply wanted to highlight the fact that based on our past practice in the last 4 or 5 major projects, we under budgeted most of those, which means this project's going to cost more than we budgeted, more than likely, and their fee percentage will go down. And so I just wanted to highlight this is a fixed fee at $2 million, and so it's really a very reasonable fee. I was surprised. I'm kind of like waiting for the catch because it just seems too good to be true. They'll wind up, probably closer to a 3% fee when it's all said and done. And so I just wanted to highlight that as well, obviously bringing to discussion primarily just for the cost value.
Thank you, Dr. James. Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to board comments and concerns. The next school board meeting is scheduled for April 22nd, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. There's a special school board meeting on April 29th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. There's another special school board meeting on May 8th, 2025 at 7 a.m. The next administrative briefing and work session is scheduled for May 8th, 2025 at 9 a.m. Ms. Gonzalez, any comments from you?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
can I make one correction? Because it says the next school board meeting is scheduled for April 22nd. That's today. Just for the record.
April 22nd. Oh, we are in.
Just for the
Yes.
just for the record. Just
Yes.
for the record.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Campbell.
We have a special school board meeting on April 29th.
29th.
Correct.
Yes, yes, but the script has got today in there. Thank you, Reverend Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So Ms. Gonzalez didn't have anything to share with us. All right. Attorney Powers?
Yes, ma'am. First things first, I wanted to indicate that in the April 7th issue of the legislative review, there was some indication regarding truancy bills and juvenile justice reforms that are moving forward. Is this not picking me up?
No, it's not. Bring it close to your mouth, please.
There we go. The April 7th copy of the legislative review indicates some juvenile justice reforms that are moving forward that will impact how we're handling some things in truancy court. And in fact, it appears that a number of those impacts will not be positive to our overall efforts. And some of those include a limitation on the jurisdictional time for which we'll be able to retain those families who are not compliant or minimally compliant. So if we have, typically with truancy cases, you'll see substantial improvement for a month or two, but then getting to where it's consistent and not missing 2 or 3 or 4 per month takes longer. And sometimes that monitoring process, we try to make sure that we have a couple of months of consistency before we lose jurisdiction on it. And this will cut that jurisdictional time frame back. It also removes some of the penalties and I shouldn't say penalties, but some of the interventions that we can do, some of which, frankly, do have a punitive effect for students who are willfully truant. So this is still going through the legislature. We're waiting to see what's going to pan out, but it's DJJ is basically mainly created for juvenile offenders, not status offenders. Status offenders are things like truancy cases. That's not necessarily a criminal offense. So they're prioritizing, I guess you could say. So I will continue to monitor and I'll report to the board how those bills are working through the legislature. Also, at the request of the board, I provide you a little background here on the timeline for 1 mil ad valorem tax. Just a little cheat sheet I printed up of what we would need to do. And in early January of 2026, the superintendent would need to hold 2 work sessions to discuss continuing the 1 mil ad valorem tax. The first work session, the superintendent may want to include ICROC so that they can provide a presentation to the school board and the public as to how past 1 mil ad valorem taxes were spent and provide reasons for why it should be continued. At the second one, the superintendent should recommend 2 resolutions, and I've attached samples that were drafts that we've sort of mocked up for that we can add additional details in later, but this would be likely most of the work done already. Awesome. And those would indicate the resolutions for a consensus to be placed on the board's agenda at least 28 days after the last work session. Those two are listed there, resolution directing the Board of County Commissioners of Marion County to place a measure on the ballot, and also a draft resolution of the Board of Marion County Commissioners authorizing the referendum. So both of those, given that the language is very likely to be similar to how it has been in the past, don't anticipate that there's going to be much difficulty in accomplishing those things, but certainly we can be nimble on our feet and move to change anything that we need to and get those approved and moved forward. So please review this, look it over. That'll give you a little bit of a idea of what we need to have in the resolution at minimum, and then we will fill in the blanks, put additional numbers, and work into it as we go. If you have any questions, just feel free to contact me anytime.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Attorney Powers. We appreciate you keeping us on track, keeping us in the game. All right, Dr. Gullett.
Good evening again. I'll be really brief. I just want to mention just a couple of quick items. I'm looking forward, board this week, to hosting the Superintendent Art Show at the Appleton Museum of Art and recognizing the artistic talent of our students of all ages. I also then want to make a comment about student voice. Tonight, board, you recognized your student school board representatives and their voice at the table and how powerful from my seat I think that is. It's a constant reminder of why we're all here to serve. So I just want to give my thanks and recognition to all of you for all that you do and represent the voices of those of your peers. And on that note also, with my superintendent advisory group, I'll give a shout out to them. We have a face-to-face meeting coming up soon, but it's because of one of the conversations I had with the students in my group that led to a solution at one of the schools that they support. So had the student not said something and brought it up for us to research, we're able to have a solution to something that was troubling to the students that we didn't know anything about. So student voice is important. Student voice is really important. Just want to underscore that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gullett. We'll move on to our student representative comments. Khalil?
I wanted to say thank you for having me this year as a student representative. It gave me a great opportunity to see, in a sense, something I've never seen before. I've never been to a school board meeting before this, so being here on the stage and learning how everything works and how everything really goes through our county and just our school board in general is really amazing. So thank you for having me, and I hope that any other student who comes up here next year and does this and has this opportunity will try to learn and embrace the opportunity themselves.
Thank you, and it's been so great for us too, as board members, to get student perspective as you guys are on campus every day. So we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules to be here with us on Tuesday night. So thank you. Okay, Sean.
Yes, I would also like to thank you guys for allowing me to, be a school board representative, a student school board representative. I just wanted to acknowledge two things. First, graduation's coming up soon, so I wanted to thank you guys personally for just allowing me with my fellow students in Marion County for just working hard to ensure that we have a great high school career. So I appreciate all that you've done for us these past 4 years. And then additionally, Dr. Campbell reminded me that this Friday there's the Night of Champions event, an FCA event held by Mr. B. Bernard. He does a great job with our student athletes and just students in general on helping broaden their perspective on things in this world and just offering them some hope and peace and joy in his own way. So I encourage all of you to show up to that. I think it'll be great and a great time for our community to get together. But that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, Dr. Campbell.
Sure, thank you. And thank you again to our students. Love having them here and love that the team was able to give them a little something for recognition's sake. And so thank you to all the team that helped with that as well. I had just a couple of things. First of all, I agree with Dr. James about the items of a certain dollar amount being pulled during a gender review. So I know that was something that I always did. And actually, I'm gonna give a shout out to former school board member Don Browning, because he was the one that kind of started that. And we've just kind of tried to keep that tradition going. So shout out to Don Browning. We don't do that very often. So then I want to mention, I know that we all got the email about high school CC, that we had the principal advertisement that went out. And so I know that we're searching for whoever that principal might be for the new high school. I also was out that way this weekend, so I wanted to say thank you to Miss Usher because, as I've said before, and you're going to hear, I'm sure, multiple times throughout this next year, my in-laws live in the Summer Glen residential community. There are more than 50 homes for sale in that residential community. If anybody's looking to move out there, they're really nice. But Miss Usher did work on an issue for us this week to alleviate some neighborhood concerns. So thank you very much for that. And I believe there's some kind of town hall or something going on out there soon. More questions about what we have going on at the high school. I peered over the fence the best I could. There's a lot going on out there already. So just grateful for the team that's doing a lot of work. Also wanted to mention, you probably have been paying at least somewhat attention, that our voices in Tallahassee are being heard. I know we have a teacher and his wife there, and both teachers that are there right now, and there's a group of students going up tomorrow, and Tallahassee knows they're coming. I received a call today just to kind of give them a reminder. By the way, you know we're in session, so if you're planning to see legislators, you're not going to be able to see any of them other than just getting shouts out from the gallery. But nevertheless, there's a lot going on with the bill that we're focused on so heavily that has now become a combo bill. And then there's also education train bills. I'm not going to go into too much of that, but just be aware that budget conferencing hopefully will be starting next week. And we'll really know the members of the budget conference committee that we really need to focus on. We have the possibility of being a part of the conversation to bring the compromise. And that's what we're trying to do right now because the House and the Senate are so far apart on the bill about AP, ACE, IB, and CAPE funding that the compromise that we're trying to seek is that saying there would be a formula built in for districts with a certain percentage of pass rate that they then would receive the calculation as it currently stands. And so that's what we're trying to do. It would be a negotiation tactic between the two chambers, but that's the hope that we'll be able to see come out of the voices directly out of Marion County. Then I had two other quick things. Board, I know today we received some emails specifically about some conversations and some community engagement issues with our schools on the north side. And honestly, I want to just go ahead and tell the community, because we didn't have any community members here tonight to talk about this, but I know that I was one of the board members who kind of initiated the conversation about Fessenden and Reddick combining or something to that effect. I would recommend at this time that the board not address those issues and actually hold off on our conversations on North End consolidation at all until the new interchange goes in at Buc-ee's. And when Buc-ee's goes in, I think that might give us a better understanding of what growth might be happening on that side. I think we do need to address programmatically North End issues, but frankly, this board member from this board seat, I'm finished with the Fessenden conversation. The vision that I had put forth, no one else caught, so I'm fine with moving on and just leaving that issue alone. And so from this board seat, I personally believe that we need to just stop the conversations about North End changes at all over the course of the next couple of years until that new interchange goes in and we can actually see what that growth potential is going to look like on that side of town. And then the last question that I had is for you, Chair, and maybe you're going to bring it up in your conversation, but I was curious to know our timeline on discussing a search firm RFP for our permanent superintendent.
Okay, well, I will wait and address that when it is my turn. All right, Dr. James?
Thank you. First, I wanted to say thank you to Mr. Martin for bringing up Night of Champions. I will be there with my family. I'm excited to be there. It is a wonderful event always, and I would encourage anyone in the community to come out if they want their cup to be filled and they want to have their heart to smile, because it is a wonderful event. I also want to just make note, Dr. Campbell had this crazy idea of putting student board members on the board about 2 years ago, and it has just turned out to be really such a wonderful addition. And I think we're the first in Florida to do it.
Martin County.
Okay. But really, okay, so we're in second place. And I think it's really, and maybe Miami-Dade, but it's really amazing to have the insight. It's helpful to have a direct connect to a student body that's able to share thought patterns, which are maybe not echoing ours, right? Because we are supposed to be serving the entire community, not just the community that looks or is our age or sits in our demographic. And so it's been a very valuable, and I really appreciate the opportunity and Dr. Campbell bringing it forward when she did. And I think it's been wonderful. So I kind of wish we had work sessions sometimes in the evening, because those are so different and there's a lot more opportunity for conversation. And so I'd love to figure out how we can make that happen in the future. Maybe in the summer we could have them come for, I don't know, we'd have to work at that. But I just wanted to give that recognition. Tonight we recognized lots of business partners. My small humans that I'm personally responsible. We're here tonight with my husband because he's a business partner for North Marion now. And it's just so wonderful to see the commitment from our community and all types of businesses. You know, we have some businesses that do many schools. Ocala Electric, I think, does something like 9 schools. I mean, it's a tremendous amount. But that commitment throughout our community at all of our schools is truly inspiring, and principals having that discretionary $2,500 really means so much. And I know maybe $2,500 doesn't seem like a lot, but when it's the principal discretion money and they're able to use it for exactly what their staff needs, it truly is impactful. I wanted briefly, board, to share, I had a request come to me out of the East Marion community. Ms. Tish, who runs the community partnership out there, and she was the previous family engagement liaison, reached out to me and she said they had a family who needed a washer and dryer, and if I could help. And so I'm always trying to make connections and support the community, however. And so I reached out to Mike, who owns MVB Appliances, which is right on 8th Street. And I've worked with him before to close a need for a washer and dryer previously at East Marion. And I said, hey, Mike, you know, I'm looking to donate this. I'll cover the cost, but do you have a refurbished we could use or whatever? And Mike, more than willingly, immediately donated a washer and dryer to this family. It's a mom of 5 kids, 5 boys, and she has been in active recovery for 1.5 years and sober, and she has really gotten her feet under her and has just really turned her life around. And her letter, she wrote a little thank you note just saying how, you know, she bawled her eyes out, called her husband, and let him know that they had been blessed by God, and they were so thankful for MVB Appliances because it has truly been a game changer for their family, just being able to launder their clothes at home. And so I wanted to publicly thank Mike and MVB Appliances, just as an example on a night like this where we're talking about business partnerships, of ways businesses serve our community, even not as a business partner, but just in those small things that businesses do all of the time to support our community. Board, I had Mr. Attorney Powers forward an email that I had shared last Monday to you all. I was looking to try and close out the North End conversation and make a decision about what we're doing tonight. There has been previously 3 board members that were interested in continuing the conversation. It looks like Dr. Campbell has made a change of opinion, and so that would leave 2 of us. So if we're ready to end the conversation, then that is fine. We can end the conversation if there's not 3 of us to continue it. This board member's desire, though, would be that we have a very productive conversation in the very near future about what schools will do when they do not generate enough money to cover their costs at site-based budgeting in a year from now. Because the break even for site-based budgeting is about 600 students at the elementary level. And so we have about 5 or 6 schools across the district, 4 of which are on the north end, that are under that 600 threshold. And this board member wants to know what this district is planning to do to navigate site-based budgeting. Because if those schools are expected to live within the site-based budget that they are going to get, there will have to be cuts from their staff. Because they will not have enough money to cover all of the expenditures and their payroll. And if the district is going to close the gap and continue to back funnel it, then we're not doing site-based budgeting. So in the very near future, I want to understand what that looks like, because I do believe problem solving this and creating solutions with the community is what I would like to do. Obviously, you guys saw my email I would like to have a conversation with the community about the data, and to be honest, if we're going to site-based budgeting and those schools are going to have budget cuts, I do believe those town halls and community meetings are still going to be very necessary, because those communities are going to need to know the nuances of site-based budgeting and what those implications will look like at those small schools with 300, 400 students. So that would be my request from this board seat as we continue, because I don't want anyone in the community to be caught off guard when there are shortfalls for the site-based budgeting. And then I will finish tonight. There were some public comment about our interim superintendent, and I just wanted to share our graduation rate has steadily increased. So Dr. Brewer has supported secondary curriculum and our high schools for the last few years in this district, and under her leadership, our graduation rate has increased. Some of our schools as much as 10 points last year from 23 to 24. In addition, we have expanded access to all of the programs which this board and this community has been talking about tremendously for the last few weeks in CTE, ACE, IB, AP, and we've increased the pass rates for all of those unique programs. So I do believe that the work she has led, and that's just one of the 1,900 hats she's wearing every single day, have really shown the commitment to Marion County Public Schools, and I'm really looking forward to her leadership. So that concludes my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. James. Reverend Cummings.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Tonight we saw a lot of recognitions that came forth. I want to thank all of our community partners, our business partners, for the work that they are doing with our schools. We really could not do a lot of the things that we do in our schools were it not for our community partners. There are some that have taken on the Herculean task of not only being a community partner for one or two schools, but several schools, 8 or 9, some of them. I think you mentioned Ocala Electric, but fiber optic as well. And so it's a lot of work. I appreciate all that they do. We also recognize tonight the after-school professionals this week. Of those 3 ladies, that was 104 years of experience in our after-school programs. And so we appreciate them. We know that those after-school, I should say after-school because it's before school as well. They play a huge part in certain families having a safe place and safe space for those kids before and after school. And it's vitally important that we keep those programs like that, continue to make sure that they go forward. To our student reps, we recognize all of them tonight for this school year. I want to say that when Dr. Campbell brought this forth, I thought it was a good idea. I wasn't sure how it was going to play out with this. However, it's been really good. It's been good for us as a board, but it's been good for the students as well, because they get to see the other side and actually get to kind of see it from a different perspective. So they saw it from their side in the schools, but now they get to see it from where we're seeing it too, and it's helped us because now we get to see it from their side. So all those things make a difference in when we're making decisions. Sometimes I think people think we're just sitting up here just throwing stuff off the dome to make decisions. However, it's a lot more going to the things that we do on this board, and I think it gives our students a better feel for what really happens and how hard it is to make a decision that affects a large group of people. So I thank them for the work that they did. Thank you for mentioning the FCA Night of Champions. I won't be there. I'll tell you why. Because I believe in the students as well, but I'll be at another banquet that same night with some students at the Freedom Fund banquet for the NAACP. So 2 great events that just happened to fall on the same night. Unfortunately, we haven't mastered cloning yet and being in 2 places at the same time, but we definitely support both efforts. And so I know it'll be a great time. I heard the conversation where we talked about shutting down the conversation about the North End schools, but when Dr. James kind of brought up something else that I've been kind of waiting to get in here. She brought up about the site-based budgeting and how that's going to affect us. I'm looking forward to us having another conversation on site-based budgeting, because sometimes we may think that that's going to be the best thing for everyone, but we need to look at it again and make sure, you just brought up a concern, a serious concern. If that school doesn't meet the right number, there'll be some huge shortfalls. And then we need to also take in consideration, I know we're piloting certain things, but we also need to take in consideration when we look at site-based budgeting on are we properly preparing our folk to do site-based budgeting? What's going to be that turnaround with that site-based budgeting? And is that going to be the most effective thing for our district? Some districts, that's the best thing for them going. Some districts, it's not going to be good. So I'm looking forward to a work session where we're going to be talking about site-based budgeting as well, and then getting the input again from our school leaders, because I think sometimes we force things down people's throat and they may not be really ready for it, and it just may not be the best thing at this time. I'm not saying it's not the best thing for Marion County in the future, but right now we're getting ready to go through some challenging times. We know this. Coming from out of Tallahassee and coming from the government, we know we're going to do some challenging times with money. And do we want to put that in those schools' hands when it could be detrimental? So we got to have those serious conversations with that as well. So again, very good meeting, and I'm hoping we can get out here before the sun go down. I'm through.
Right. Thank you, Reverend Cummings. Board Member Thriller.
Thank you. And
oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. I don't want.
The sun's going down.
I don't want to steal Miss Store's thunder. But I had a conversation with her the other day about recess, man. So I just want her to let her have that. But I do sign on to what we said we're going to do.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I'll start with that so I don't forget before the sun goes down. You're going to live with that one. Yes, young recess man, a first grader at Oak Crest Elementary School. I believe I mentioned him maybe at the last school board meeting or work session, one of the two. And little recess man, he had a lot of trouble keeping himself still in the classroom, tap, 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 tap. Well, the great teacher that he had also noticed him tapping out in recess, finding a stick and tapping on a bench. So before you know it, recess man had one of those blue recycling buckets and a couple of drumsticks and was going to town. And I had a chance to see recess man in action with the rest of his music class recently at a fantastic, incredibly well-attended parent event, Pastries with Parents at Oak Crest Elementary School. That's a pretty big cafeteria, and it was standing room only. And there were other performances too, the cheerleaders, the choirs. It was just fantastic. And then here comes recess man, and I'm watching them and I'm thinking, you know, surely we can find something other than a blue recycling bucket and a couple of sticks to help this kid. So again, with the fantastic members of the community and people that work for the school system that shall remain unmentioned, there's not just one set of drums now at Oak Crest Elementary School, there are two. And I got the best video. I need to post it with Oak Crest permission of recess man playing his drums, neon blue, unbelievable. So who knows what path, you know, recess man's gonna take. You know, maybe someday he'll be a drumline kid in college. That'll help pay his way. I don't know, but you just want to keep track of every single one of you because it means so much to see you grow and flourish and just become the persons that you're destined to be. So I echo how important it is to the rest of this board to have student board representatives. COVID kind of got in our way, it derailed us, but it was Board Member Campbell that resuscitated the conversation, and we've just all been, you know, all in. And sure, you always have a little trepidation about, man, what might they say? Well, there's been some pretty direct things that have been said that needed to be said. So it's just been a wonderful experience, and it's nice to hear that it's been a wonderful experience for all of you too, having as many of you that came tonight to be recognized. And the lapel pins, I could see that kind of, you guys were liking those. And yeah, and I have a lot of lapel pins that I wear, and I think I'll treasure them forever. So great stuff. I'll move on to, it seems like every week there's a recognition, and I never want to miss any of them because we have great people that work for us, but I just thought this was so cute. Today happened to be Happy National Bus Driver Day. and this is just full of bad puns, which you'll appreciate, Attorney Powers. They go the extra mile every single day. Happy National School Bus Driver Day to the incredible drivers who steer our students toward success. Thank you for always driving safely, parking with patience, and fueling our school days with care and kindness. We're really grateful for you. So since transportation is such a huge part of everything that we do, along with everyone else, just wanted to give them a special shout out on their special day. Moving on to the site-based budgeting conversation, I believe this board and superintendent are always about trying to find ways to do more with less and provide autonomy to our schools because they are all so different. I think we do need to proceed with some caution because, as we know, our schools are all very unique. And one of the schools that comes to mind in my district is Hillcrest School. They have 160 students. I think at the very most, they can hold a couple of hundred, and that was a lot. When I was there, we were pretty overloaded. They're very special kids with very special needs. And so I just don't know that we can ever expect some of our schools with large populations of kids that have incredible needs will be able to make that pay, so to speak. So I can look forward to the continued conversation because in the spirit of trying to make every dollar stretch and count, I just think it only makes sense. So I'm completely open to that. Wanted to share the Fort King Falcons continue to be on the rise, and I just wanted to acknowledge Mr. Kim. He, for the very first time, had a group of students that went to a robotics competition. It was their very first one, sponsored by Duke Energy and University of Florida, AI and robotics, and they won. So that was really, really neat. Fort King is a transformed school. A couple years ago, it's hard. You know, middle school is hard. We've all acknowledged that. And when you have the same principal for many years and then you change principals, it can be a rough transition. But that school, I was there the other day. They have covered dining outside now as part of the extra funding we had from the COVID-19 pandemic. And the kids, it's just such a much more relaxed atmosphere. It reminds me of like a budding high school campus. You know, how ninth graders come in and they're a little squirrely and the seniors kind of look at them like, you know, they'll grow up. and you see a big change by Christmas. But it's just really, really neat. And so I do firmly believe that Fort King, as evidenced by the large number, over 100 more sixth graders are choosing to come to Fort King next year. So that means they're not being lost to, you know, other middle school programs that have been, you know, really solid for a long time. So that school's in my district, and of course that makes me even extra proud of everything that Principal Carter has done and the whole school staff to begin to grow the programs there. I've just enjoyed my school visits this past week. It's a fun time of year. You know, there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of pressure, you know, with testing coming up, but I would just encourage everyone to keep that positive energy going. It'll make it easier on testing day. You know, just take a deep breath and do your best, and I get the sense that it's all going to work out pretty well. I guess I don't want to finish with this, but I do want to address the North End. Everybody, I think, has pretty much heard my feelings about it. Again, with the site-based budgeting, I've already, you know, covered that, and I know we're going to have more information there. But as I've continued to delve into the research of both Pheasant End and also 8th Street and Osceola, and it was Ocala High at one point, both of those schools, starting with Osceola and 8th Street, are part of an historic district. There's over 200 buildings in downtown Ocala, of which 8th Street and Osceola are two of them, that are part of the historic district. And it makes them so worth preserving. those schools, any old school costs money, you know, but to have a school like that is incredibly special. Fessenden, I learned, it's not just the buildings that are on the National Register. They are their own historic district, which includes all 150 acres. I did not know that, but I know it now. And it's just incredible to me that we have a school in our midst that was started by freedmen, and I'll just say it, you know, former slaves. And it started with 11 students, boys, because in those days, you know, girls didn't get the same opportunities, and neither did the slaves. So to see how that has grown from 1868 into what it is now, it's something for our community to be so proud of. Living history. I mean, history is history. So you might as well acknowledge it and learn from it and put it to good use so that any mistakes from the past don't get made again. And at one point, well, more than one point, that school was almost closed, you know, due to lack of funding. And Marion County's public schools picked it up, I think, in 1950. So yeah, I've been doing my homework. History's good. And we've been, you know, helping with that school ever since. And I'm very proud that we have, because this has come up before. Every school board previous to this one that I know of has not been willing to close that school. And I continue to be one of those people. I will say, though, Reddick has got to be top of mind, because if we don't have a serious conversation soon about what to do about the 50% enrollment at Reddick and increasing that, then I'm very worried because of the state of things, and land is valuable and people want it, including for things that aren't public schools, that we will lose that school. And Board Member Campbell raised a great point with Bucky's going in. Development is happening. The South has been discovered. You know, there's just a lot of people coming in. So I do think that we really need to think very creatively and focus on that school and have a conversation sooner than later in terms of Reddick, and also putting to rest 3 very important schools in this county's history. When I read about the people that graduated from A Street and Osceola, and some that graduated from Fessenden, it's just really, really incredible. So at some point, I would love for this board to continue to be the innovative, bold board that we have been, and look at doing a resolution that hopefully in perpetuity will protect A Street, Osceola, and Fessenden as educational institutions. That'll give us some latitude to do some creative planning with them, but I really would like for the board to consider doing that. So I'd love to hear your feedback right now. It's not a spring on you thing. I think I said it at the last board meeting. So, Chair, I'll take your direction and when and if you'd like to continue the conversation, be it now or later.
I'd love to continue the conversation, not necessarily this evening, because I'd like the opportunity to do a little homework of my own. My understanding, but I haven't seen it factually, is there was some outside help with the renovation at 8th Street and Osceola, some outside grants. And so, you know, when we begin this discussion, I would like to see the full picture. What all did it take to save these schools? What do we need to save Fessenden? And I believe that comes with the site-based budgeting conversation. We have to see what does each school have to create funding-wise to run. What does that look like? How far are we from the finish line? And so I think those are all important pieces of that conversation, so we can make informed decisions.
Great. Can I say one thing about the grant?
Sure.
Because that was pretty interesting too, that it was a grant based on the historic designation. And I believe, and I will double check this, but I believe it was beloved principal Helen Ingrayo, yes, who was so dedicated to that school that it helped bring that, forward. And also too, that a lot of families have been able to help. I know there's a very involved SAC program, and we also know from the folks that keep coming to see us, you know, from Fessenden, that there's a lot of interest. So there's just so much potential with both of these schools. So thank you.
I agree. And I know Mr. James, who's visited with us publicly and privately, is looking at some options, some new, some new opportunities. So, you know, there's a lot of conversation still to be had. Yes, Reverend Cummings.
Madam Chair, and to mention the grants about those schools that Ms. Thrower talked about, there were grants, but they were matching grants that the school district did have. Actually, we probably paid the bigger part of it. Historically, that's in the record. So just wanted to add that to that.
We're looking at some big expenses for Osceola for sure. We haven't gotten the actual cost yet, but I think we've all had the tour and had a chance to see what needs to be done. So, thank you.
Good. All right. Yes. Thank you both. And I just have a few short things. First of all, I want to thank our staff. It's been a little while. I try to do that, remember to do it every couple of board meetings, but I look out and I know you're giving up time with your families, with your friends, you know, with your couch. Maybe you'd like to relax, but you guys are here all the time, supporting us and answering questions, walking us through things that we need to decide on. And so I just want to say tonight, thank you, as the majority of you sitting here listening as we make decisions and you provide information for us. So thank you for that, for your commitment to the students of Marion County. I also want to say thank you for the board. That was a lot of great conversation from everyone tonight. So thank you for that. Also want to say thank you to Ms. Martinez. Tomorrow is Administrative Professionals Day. So just want to say she takes good care of us at board members, reminding us, sending reminders, calendar invites, relaying information, providing information, all those things that come. I know I see some of you nodding your head. Nobody really wants to sign up to take care of 5 board members, so we'll just leave it at that. So thank you, Ms. Martinez, and she's not here with us this evening, but just wanted to give her a shout out. Board, I wanted to give you a reminder, there's a Thank a Teacher recognition on Thursday. If you're able to come, I'd love to see you. That's always a fun time. And that is all I have for today. Board, we do have an off-air portion tonight, so with that, I'm going to recess us at 7:31 and clear the room. Thank you.